Evan Kisseloff just graduated from college. 3 days before, he was the sole survivor of a plane crash.
Because I've been looking forward to this day for a very long time, and I remember being in the emergency room and asking the doctor, am I going to be able to walk on Saturday? And he said yes, and I was very glad to hear that.
The 21-year-old aviation administration major graduated on Saturday with a bachelor's degree alongside about 600 fellow students at the Farmingdale State College commencement ceremony. The tragedy was marked by a moment of silence in remembrance of the two Farmingdale students who lost their lives in the airplane crash, sophomore Casey Falconer and senior Patrick Sheridan. After the ceremony, Kisseloff recalled the details of the crash, which claimed the life of his friends and fellow students. Kisseloff says on Wednesday, May 9th, the three had flown in Sheridan's private single-engine plane to Pennsylvania to meet up with Falconer's family for dinner, and on the way back, a few minutes into the flight, something went horribly wrong.
There was a point when I knew that there was going to be an impact of some sort. I did not know when it was going to be, but when the left wing of the plane hit a tree, then I'm like, okay, I got to be ready. And luckily I was ready. Upon impact, I was tossed around a little bit. I don't believe I blacked out at all, but things happened so fast, and they're a little graphic, so I'd rather not go into much more detail. The first thing that came through my mind after impact was, this is not how it ends. This is not how it's going to end with me. This can't be it. And lo and behold, it wasn't. I actually managed to get out through the back window, and I did scream for them to get out. Unfortunately, there was no responses, but I did get out, and I did call 911.
In the crash, Kisseloff suffered a cracked rib and had to get stitches on his right hand, but he says it's the emotional wounds that will take the longest to heal.
I am physically, I'm recovering. I'm not in a lot of pain. Of course, the memories are very good. Casey was a kind of person, I knew him since I started here, and he was the person who you can go to about anything. He had probably one of the greatest senses of humor I've ever seen. Very adult sense of humor too. I mean, a mature adult sense of humor, and his jokes are still play in my head every day, and he was the person I would probably text every day. I would see him every day. And Patrick, I had just met this semester, and he was a very interesting guy, very adventurous guy. I'm going to remember their love for flying, their love for this field. This field is based on passion. It's not based on wanting to make money. This is a job. This stuff is based on passion, especially becoming a pilot. And for them to have such a passion, to be so determined to do something that they love so much, that's what I'm going to remember about that. I am very thankful to be here, and I know that Patrick and Casey are watching up there, and they're cheering me on.
Kisselloff's parents were also on hand, saying they're grateful to still have their son.
We're just very thankful. We're heartbroken, but we're thankful.
Our hearts go out to the Falconers and the Sheridans, because no parent should ever have to suffer this kind of loss. But as my wife said, we're very grateful that we could be here and watch him walk, and the pride is enormous.
One of Kisselloff's aviation professors was also there.
It's a sad day for the entire department, as you can imagine. These were great kids. We're going to miss them very much.
It's a very vivid remembrance of the tragic accident to have him in the graduation today. But it's also just a wonderful and miraculous thing that he was not himself seriously injured, and he certainly didn't lose his life, and we are very pleased about that.
College officials say that even though the tragedy is still fresh on everyone's mind, this is still an important milestone for the students as well as Farmingdale State College.
It's a special day because of the centennial graduation. It's a happy day for all of them. They are in academic programs which have great job opportunities. I think that most of them, if they don't already, many of them already have jobs. And many will also find jobs as the days and weeks go along now, that they'll spend more time doing this. Some have told me, and we know that they are going on to graduate school, so they're not looking for employment yet. And we think they have wonderful opportunities.
In Farmingdale, Collora reporting.